got another news topic. We actually have a lot of news topics today. So, in case you were all thinking that we're almost done, nope. We got WWE PLEs leaving Peacock for ESPN. And before I jump into this, I'm not super hyped about this, and I think the general consensus has been that most people in the United States are not that are fans of WWE. WWE is officially ending its run on Peacock. All U.S. premium live events will now air on ESPN's new to direct consumer streaming service platform in 2026. That was a mouthful to get out. Good God. This means a huge shift in how American fans will access WWE's biggest shows. There'll be a new price point of $29.99 a month. So, that's a considerable jump from the $9.99 a month that we were paying for Peacock now. ESPN's DTC service, well, obviously, like I just said, $29.99 a month. But if
Direct
you
to consumer,
already get
brother.
ESPN through a provider like DirecTV, you get the DTC service for free
S-
through the ESPN app.
So I
So
don't know if
there's a
you've
little
seen,
bonus.
it's not all cable. It's like only DirecTV and like Spectrum and I think Hulu Live, YouTube Live, and maybe one other one. And if you
Yeah,
have any other cable provider, you're not getting this.
nope.
Sorry, go ahead.
So that no, that's good information for folks out there. Obviously, it's a win for cable holdouts, but it's a major price bump for former Peacock subs who were paying $5 to $10 a month.
No
I mean,
library, brother.
it's a significant increase, yeah, in the library. Well, WrestleMania 2031 becomes a negotiation chip. The deal runs through early 2031, right after WrestleMania 2031, WWE giving WWE perfect leverage point for its next media rights play. Smart timing from TKO to keep a major event in hand for future deals. The archives are in limbo. Google and YouTube partnership rumored. No word yet on whether the WWE Network archive content will transfer to ESPN. Fightful reports that the WWE Vault content may be spotlighted more on YouTube, suggesting a new Google deal could be in play. Fans looking for classic pay per views, documentaries, and older shows might be out of luck, though, at least for now. International streaming is going to be unchanged. Outside the US, WWE content will remain on Netflix, including PLEs and weekly TV. The ESPN deal only affects domestic streaming in the US, so we're just taking it here as Americans. I wish we could get the everything on Netflix deal like everyone else has got. That'd be fantastic. The TKO stock price actually dropped 2.69% after the announcement, likely due to concerns over pricing backlash and uncertain archive handling, but who knows for sure. ESPN strategy shift, sports mega bundle incoming. This isn't just about WWE. They're folding in the NFL Network, Red Zone, and more into their new streaming offering.
They've already
It's
bought
a
all that
full
stuff.
on yeah, it's a full-on cable replacement strategy from ESPN, and WWE is part of the launch push. I'm not crazy about this. I know I said it at the beginning, and I just wish that we could get something akin to the WWE Network. That was the best version of the online streaming stuff that we had. The streams were always good because it was run off of the same infrastructure as the MLB network streaming infrastructure. So of course it was going to always be great. But I mean, it is what it is. The WWE network walked so these other streaming deals could run, I guess.
So I
What
think
do you
this.
think of all this?
So this was literally for like 1.6 billion. It's for like three. I think 145 million a year or something for 5 years. It's like a pretty large amount of money, and it's I think like almost 100% rights increase over their last deal, or very close to that. But this is an overall lose lose for wrestling fans, unless this wrestling fan just so happens to like ESPN content. You're
Yeah.
losing any kind of archive footage, like we said. It's going up $20. And the only way that I could see this being something that people would really want to pay for, that they could get their value out of, is if they took the UFC pay per views, because they're in their negotiation year. The UFC's out of their exclusive negotiation rights deal with with ESPN, so they're negotiating with other parties now, and I think that UFC is going to end up splitting their content up. So this may or may not happen, but it is a good sign that since TKO does own Zuffa and therefore they own the UFC, that maybe since they're under the same umbrella with the other people that they just got that from TKO with WWE, that maybe hopefully they're going to get UFC on there too. That is the only way that I could see this being worth the value, because pay-per-view is a dying model, so maybe they're finally going to make the switch. But even then, that doesn't mean that the WWE fan likes UFC content. So in the end, this is like a lose-lose for the wrestling fan, because you're getting charged, and it's only here in the US, like you're saying. Like, literally, pretty much everybody's going to have to just start VPN on Netflix, like in Canada or some other foreign market. That way you can just get every single piece of WWE content on Netflix, because that's how it is overseas. Or even it's still in North America, right above us. It's just
Crazy.
they're just taking full advantage, and they're monetizing the U.S. fan base even more and more. And it's not just the WWE and ESPN that are doing this, but it's just, how can you justify taking ESPN Plus, a pretty crappy streaming service, and putting just a little bit more of your ESPN content on it, and then charging triple the amount of what it's worth now, and then expecting more?
Well, you may be onto something with them working out a UFC deal. They may have already had conversations like that, because
I'm
I
sure they
read an
have.
article, and I'm paraphrasing here, but I believe that Nick Khan had said that the ESPN deal wasn't even the highest dollar deal on the table,
Yeah.
which is a weird thing to say in an interview,
They took it for reach, they
knowing
said.
that shareholders are going to see that, but also leads me to believe that there may be some credence to the UFC talk, because you know why would you take a lower dollar deal if it didn't, unless it meant that you were going to get an additional deal that was a little bit more sweetheart and favorable for the other thing. I don't know.
Very good
Maybe we're
point.
just guessing here, but why else would you take a lesser dollar deal knowing that you have to answer to shareholders? There has to be a reason, you know, long term.
I agree. Um, we're going to know pretty soon, I feel like, next couple
Yep.
weeks. If this really is happening, they're going to have a blow off event. They're going to have like a big press event. They're going to get really big about this, because if the
Yeah.
UFC does let go of pay-per-view model, it's a big deal, because they've been the leader in pay-per-view for the past 20 some years now. But I guess that's probably about all that we can cover in that one right there.